um the most I have the most what do they call them, conditions, and I'm a still functioning human being on this team. And so I think that should be my platform for team captain here
So your
today.
platform is I'm fucked up, but I'm still running.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going the Rolex route. Got it. No, Timex, right?
I don't know. I don't have a
Uh,
watch.
I, yeah, that makes sense.
Um Also, I just need everybody to know the amount of exorbitant taxes the federal government in New York took from me this year. It was like 25% of my total gross income. And they're telling me that I am getting $41 back.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm only getting
Sounds about right.
65. Getting
No,
getting 65.
cannot be right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you want my mom to look at your taxes? She's gonna look at mine.
No,
My mom's a CPA.
I believe in that. My mom does that too. I don't care.
I'm so bad at math. I don't know how that happened.
Are these the state ones or the federal ones?
The federal ones.
The fuck?
Hmm.
Cool, cool,
I
cool,
was very
cool.
mad. I almost cried about it. Anyways, I think I should be team captain because I'm fucked up, but I'm functioning. That's my platform. Fucked up, but functioning.
I love it. It's a great slogan.
I make no promises
And it
except that
would,
no more city blocks will be compromised.
and honestly, it would be
You can't make that
so,
promise.
it would be so good if it were true.
So, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Q. Here's the thing, Katie. Politics is all about promising things you cannot give them. So therefore, I can absolutely promise no more city blocks will
As
be
we've,
involved.
as we've seen. Sure.
Yeah, relevance. Anyways, that's all. That's my platform for today. Everybody vote for me. I don't think this is actually a democracy. So
I mean, you
I'm
did
just gonna.
have to vote on Connor being the team captain.
Yeah,
That did happen,
that did happen.
which
But
was,
this is second votes.
that's a choice that y'all made.
We did, and you're doing a
I
great
stand
job
by that
too.
choice.
Yeah,
Scylla has
I
no
also do.
regrets.
LC thinks this is a funny platform. Ellie does not want to be a leader, especially not right now.
Yep.
That's it. We
Fair.
can go.
Fair and valid.
Absolutely fair and valid. Kian, I know I didn't ask you this ahead of time. You good with doing the channel intro?
Absolutely can. Hello, hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to hang out on Entropy Emporium. A couple of quick things before we get started. First and foremost, we are raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They are doing really important work on the ground in Gaza. We ask that if you cannot donate, definitely continue to spread the word, continue to speak up and speak out, and pay attention to the world around you. The other thing is that if you like what we do, if you want to come and yell with us, you can come and join our Discord server. It really is just a bunch of yelling. It's yelling about how cool everybody is. It's yelling about characters. This month it's yelling about birthdays. Just come and hang out, see what's going on. We would love to have you. That is all that I have, so I'll send it back to you, JD.
I was just about to type something, but now I am speaking, so I will type what I was going to type in a moment. Because first, I'm going to throw this over to Harp, who I'm going to give another free reroll because they are running tech once again, and we appreciate it. But yes, introduce yourself, introduce us to Mara. Tell us how Mara is feeling as she is leaving this television world.
Oh God. Well, I'm Harper and Mara. Hi. Mara's the Nova playbook. She has gravity powers. And I think she's going through it. If she like gets all her memories back at once, I don't know if that's kind of what happens, but she was kind of not looking forward to it because Valen told her that she was a bitch in this world, and now she's kind of like, oh, they're right, you know. Um, so we can. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it just depends on if people poke Mara. We'll see.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna see how we're gonna see how the character growth that occurred while not in Hemlock transfers over to being in Hemlock. And with that, tossing it over to Kian and Valen.
Hello, hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Valen, who is the Beacon playbook, which means he does not have any powers in this world. How is Valen feeling about getting out of the TV? Look, Valen just wants to go back to his boyfriend, all right? His unofficial boyfriend. He wants to stop risking his life for all of these hoodlums in this TV. He wants to be done with that. He wants to go. He doesn't want to go back to Hemlock, but he is not pleased with the TV world. So if he has to choose, he's ready to be done. At least in Hemlock, we think we know at least. Valen thinks he knows what the horrors are. TV world keeps surprising him, and he is not pleased about that.
Valid. A completely valid response. We'll see whether there are any horrors today. Maybe a few, maybe none. We're gonna find out together. And now I'm gonna toss it over to Q.
Hi, it me. I am Q, he, him. Playing Mr. Connor Creed tonight, the transformed. Who's feeling, honestly, for someone whose literal body changes all of the time, or can change all of the time, he has grown very tired of change. And so is glad to be leaving the madness that they've been thrown into. But he is sort of curious and concerned about parsing out what was real and what is going to be real going into this world that apparently is their original world.
That is another very, very fair response. All right, Steph, tossing it over to you and Scylla.
Yeah, I'm playing Scylla. She's the doomed playbook. She's feeling not as stressed and anxious as initially because she had her mission. She was doing her mission. She couldn't find Rook, so she didn't finish it. But, everyone made it back together, and that's what's important. And we're just going to deal with the emotions about the Antler Man and the giant eye in the sky and feeling like the true predator and not the prey. We're going to deal with that later. Maybe in therapy, maybe with friends, maybe alone. Who knows?
Those are all really good options. I need you to know that. And if it's with friends, maybe you'll get to clear a condition.
That would be lovely. I got 2.
Also, Valen is winning on number of conditions, and I do feel like that needs to be celebrated. Although I guess if we change what winning means, Elsie.
I was literally trying to figure out how Valen had more conditions than me, so but I see what you mean now. Hi, I'm Elsie. I'm Optimistic on all social media. I play Ellie Ellison, the Protege Playbook. I have questionable powers at the moment. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm sure there is 0 consequences for my actions. How is Ellie feeling? I think terrified, truly, because the last thing that she texted people / sent a message out through telepathy, which she had observed from Mima, who we left behind in the television, is meet up. Nobody actually ever told her she was not dying anymore, and if she went back to the real world, she would not be dying. So as far as she's concerned, she still thinks she's dying. I guess until we get there, and then everybody can tell her, Ellie, chill, shut the fuck up. Be nicer, please. She's emotionally fragile right now. I have 4 conditions.
And that is why Ellie is winning with number of conditions.
Number winning conditions.
I don't know if we can call that winning.
Keep saying that word.
I don't know if we can call that winning.
Ellie needs a gold star, Q.
Everybody be so chill right now. Ellie needs her gold star, or she will go.
I mean, she could get a gold star in number of partners,
No, I think
right?
you said. No, I think you said. Right.
You say that.
Yeah, that's true.
But one of them is doing something shady. One of them is mad at me, probably for almost killing them, and the other is probably mad at me because I was part of leaving their mom behind in the TV. So I don't fucking know how many partners I actually have right now. Probably 0.
I like how you left out the fact that 2 of them are murderers.
Mm-hmm.
That was not on the
Mm,
criteria for whether or not they're my
Mm.
partner or not.
mm.
That's like something you ask like on the second date.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
No, that sounds right. That sounds
Yeah,
absolutely
it's very right. I watch a lot of rom-coms.
All right, and with that, I am JD. I am the storyteller, and I will be getting to play everyone else, including potentially those 3 boyfriends. So, before we dive into tonight, just a reminder with They Call Us Villains, we have some content warnings for this, as it does delve into a number of pieces of content that can be emotionally overwhelming and exhausting, and include some pretty dark material. And so in this game, some of the content warnings are for institutional violence, forced institutionalization, medical abuse, psychological abuse and gaslighting, themes in line with real world conversion therapy, body horror, gore and blood, references to the use of isolation, seclusion, and sedation, bad, toxic, and emotionally abusive parenting, unreality, and as mentioned with Ellie, conversations around degenerative illness. I will always be using safety check-ins with the cast, making sure all of them are feeling all right. We have our tools and our ability to check in with one another, to give a thumbs up on content or to step away if we need to. And as you are viewers and not involved in that, we encourage you to be mindful of your own needs and your own well-being. And if you need to step away at any point, please do not hesitate. We have a lot of other games on this channel that do not include these particular pieces of content, and we would always rather you prioritize yourself and take care of yourself in the way you need to. And with that, we're going to jump in. In Hemlock, it's quiet. What seems like moments ago, there was a cacophony of noise. Screams, cries, laughter. But now it's quiet. The hallways stretching on with their tiled floor and fluorescent lights. Those hallways empty. The rooms with the doors open, also empty. The nursing station, not staffed. Well, empty might not quite be the right word, because there is a figure wheeling a bucket with a mop in it down the hall. White mask covering their face, continuing to obscure it from view, whistling to themselves. And then they pause. They make a chiding sound, the clicking of the tongue, or at least we have to assume, since we can't see their face. And while it is presumptuous to say that they have a tongue, we imagine that they probably should. And then we stop wondering about their tongue because they are speaking, and their words are strangely unnerving because while they are talking to themselves, it feels like they're also talking to us. What a mess you have made. We haven't made a mess. We don't think we have, but maybe we have, and we don't like the fact that we can't see their expression as they look up and look right at us. And then we are distracted. There is a crackle. And we realize we're in the recreation room, standing just a few feet away from the television on the wall. It turns on, but it doesn't show us an image. It shows us what looks like a reflection. Several bodies stretched out over floors and furniture. But if we look, there's no one there. Not yet, at least. And then there's a ripple in the air, the buzzing of static, and we see one by one an arm, an eye, a torso, a series of familiar faces blinking into existence. Limbs for a moment not attached to bodies, but not in a violent, gory way, just in a pieces are missing way. And we see Connor, Lucian, Scylla, Onyx, Ellie, Casey and Gray, Mara, Bridget, Valen. There are faces we do not see. Any Hemlock staff, for instance. Whether that are people we saw briefly in moments and scenes. Misty. We saw King appear once, but it wasn't quite King. It was also Foxglove, but we don't see either of them either. We also don't see Theo, Brooke, and Caleb. And we don't like that, but we also don't have time to waste as Hemlock comes alive again. There are the sounds of footsteps on tile, of pots and pans from the kitchen and dining room, the low murmur of voices as the staff comes on to shift. And Hemlock is alive once more, out of the stasis it has been in, and changed in ways no one can understand, not yet. And so, for the 5 of you, in addition to several of your fellow inmates, have reappeared in the recreation room. And I'm going to invite us first to check in with Connor, and for you, Q, to let us know what everyone sees as Connor comes into view.
So Connor's form is usually a gray-greenish to gray-purplish, really depends on the day. His hair is typically sort of amethyst purple. And previously, he got the new addition of an obsidian arm. But now, however, there are parts of him that are even bulkier, about shoulders crawling up onto the neck, along the cheeks, and on the chest, down his torso, and likely on his legs as well. There are plates of obsidian. And it takes a moment. You can see the general grimace that he kind of always has. Scrunches up his face and then takes a moment to center himself again. Then everything is too loud. And I sort of mean that on all of the senses. Like, tries to cover his ears, but then his hands touching his ears feels too electric and too hot. So he just sort of shrinks down and compacts himself, which is a feat given that he's over 7 feet tall.
And Lucian, who is beside you and came back to himself with a gasp, immediately moves to touch you, Connor, but stops and is just kind of wringing their hands because they need to do something with their hands, or they are going to reach out and touch you, and is just saying, "What do you need me to do? What do you need?"
Too loud, too loud, too loud. Everything is too loud.
And Lucian very gently rests his hands on your cheeks and cups your face in his hands.
I think there's, with the understanding that there's an attempt made to calm everything, there's a wince, but then he breathes. The hands are gripped tightly. You can see that there's more of the obsidian on the knuckles of the hand that's not obsidian.
And Lucian moves his hands away, not entirely, but enough that he's not touching you. Too much?
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't be.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. Everybody okay?
And the rest of you hear Connor ask this.
I'm okay. Are you? You've got more of the obsidian.
I'll be fine. Okay, we need to check on things, make sure we are out of the TV. For sure.
Where's Caleb? Like, I know he wasn't in there, but he was here before we left, right?
Right. Okay, so we need to get a head count for everyone.
Oh, Ellie, how are you feeling? You should be fine now.
Okay. You say that, but
Uh-huh.
so we were just gonna leave because like the last thing I thought we were doing was like meeting up, and now we're outside of the
Oh
TV. And am I dying? Am I dying?
no! Oh no, we didn't tell you. I'm so sorry. We figured out that we just had to leave. I think Mara figured it out, or was it Valen? Or was it Connor? But I don't think it was me because that was a really smart thing to figure out. But all we had to do was get you out of the TV so you weren't dying anymore. And now we're out, so you should be okay.
You're just gonna let me know now.
There was a lot, and I thought someone might have told you. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
I'm
It's just
sorry.
it would have
Communication is important, and we oopsied on that, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an oopsie. Yeah. Okay. I agree with Connor. We should definitely get a head count. That is it's a really good idea. That is number one idea that we should be doing, because having all of your team in line is important. that felt right to say. Maybe we are back, and I will process that I am no longer dying, and that was all potentially just a manifestation of it. Maybe my anxiety. I don't know. And I'll process that and among other things, and I will figure it out, and I'm fine.
Oh, we have our uniforms back. Boo.
We do have our uniforms back. It's still itchy.
Mm.
I miss real clothes. I miss real clothes, and I miss not being
think-
here.
Yeah, I think that's the part I'll miss.
Clothes or not being here.
Yes.
I guess both.
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, and food.
Mm-hmm.
Right, head count.
Head
Head count.
Yes. I'm
So I'm here.
going to go. I'm gonna go to the group room.
Mm-hmm.
Should
I
we
will-
split up?
Everyone should meet me there.
Okay.
I need to center if I'm going to be of any use.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna start heading that way.
Should
A
we?
very fair response. For the record, as those of you who are looking around, Caleb, as mentioned, is nowhere in sight. Neither are Casey and Gray. And neither is Bridget.
Hmm.
I'll look for Bridget.
I'll look for
Okay.
Casey and Gray.
No question. Were they just there, and now
Oh,
they're not?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we're gonna do a little fun thing because I like to do little fun things. I think anyone who wants to gauge if they were just here, you know what? Roll to assess the situation. Roll with superior, and if you get over a 10, maybe I'll let you answer. Ask another question on what's going on around you.
Let's assess. It's superior. You know, fuck it. Worst thing, I can get some potential.
I
Then
get
I'm
some
getting
potential.
11.
That's a 3.
Let's go. Let's go.
Good shit, Valen. Good shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
Valen!
wait. What am I rolling
Potential
with?
squad over here.
Superior?
Superior. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
at a
also gonna
negative
take
3
it.
with Suspiria. Suspiria. Wow, different movie!
Elsie,
Superior.
you're good.
Nope.
6.
How'd it go? Oh, 6?
6.
R.I.P. Easy.
Were those
Um,
roses dice?
Sure was the
Yes.
Meemaw ass
Mhm.
days.
Fucking Liv Moss, my
Liv
ass.
Moss head ass.
All right, well, I
So-
can fail one more time and I'll have another advancement. So everybody jot that down.
So everybody got potential except for Valen, who rolled a fucking 11. We love to see it.
Valen gets another gold star.
And
What?
so
No.
Valen, you definitely
Ellie.
realize, like, you are the one person, because I imagine this is very in line with what Valen would do. Like, the moment you realized where you were looking at your surroundings, trying to ground yourself, figure out what was going on. And that means you saw that Casey and Gray were in the room. You saw that Bridget was in the room. You now recognize, as this conversation has been going on, the three of them at some point disappeared. You might have even caught a brief glimpse of Bridget leaving. You did not catch a glimpse of Casey and Gray leaving, which tells you two things. One, Gray is no longer incorporeal. And two, Gray, and likely because of that, also Casey, both have access to their powers. What other question would you like to ask?
What? I'm so bad at mask moves.
You can also make up your own question. Like I will always take a question just formed by you, Kian.
I want to ask, like, I don't know what I want. Somebody is dancing on the fucking screen. What here's the biggest threat?
I think this makes a lot of sense for Valen especially to be asking because Valen, what stands out to you in this moment is the fact that Caleb is missing. You are the one person who has truly witnessed the extent of Caleb's powers. And that to you feels like the most dangerous element in the way that it is unpredictable. Whether he has lost control of his powers, whether those powers are being used or manipulated by the staff of Hemlock, you know they're fucking shady. You know, you also know Theo is gone right now, so she is not an immediate threat. But Caleb missing is like a flashing warning sign on multiple levels.
Valen has been under anesthesia once and came out ready to fight, which I don't think would surprise anybody. And this is a similar effect. Valen wakes back up here and is ready to swing. We need to find Caleb. I don't know where Casey and Gray and Bridget went, but we need to find Caleb.
Well, if we look
Maybe.
for
No, what is it, Mara?
if we look for anybody, we'll also be looking for him. So let's just look for people, I guess.
Well, we could check his room. The building made a room for him before we left. Maybe he landed there.
The place to start.
Hmm.
Caleb was 13. Am I making that up?
Room number 13.
Okay, I'm gonna head to room 13.
I'm gonna have to remember the layout of Hemlock because it's been a while since we've been back in these rooms.
I guess Scylla will also check the cafeteria, if only because if she doesn't find anyone, she can at least get several things of ice chips. So I think
If-
that'll
Mara's
be
gonna look
needed.
for Bridget.
If Connor's going to the group room, you're going to the cafeteria, I'll go with Valen to check the rooms.
Okay. All right. I am just very quickly reminding myself of what rooms are whose because it has been such an incredibly long time since we all experienced this together.
Yay!
All right. So, if you all are heading in that direction, you would be splitting up. So, we will have two of you heading to find. Well, I guess we are heading to find Casey, Gray, and Caleb. So we have that contingent. And then we have Mara looking to find Bridget. Mara, we are going to start with you. So you are walking down the hall, and honestly, it feels like you've spent much more time in the television as it feels like you've been in Hemlock. It's been a really weird past couple of days, and things just keep getting stranger. What's going through Mara's head as she goes to find Bridget?
Mara is really, really down. Mara was the entire time in other Hemlock and TV Hemlock was like, this guy's saying that I'm a huge piece of shit. Like that can't be true, right? And now she's just kind of sitting there with like her life that is worse, but a lot of that is because she's made it worse. I think really looking for Bridget is just like trying to hold on to a little bit of that. She's like really stoic face wise though. I think she just has kind of RBF, and that's what she's wearing, you know?
And Mara, the door to Bridget's room is cracked open, as the doors often are, when it's during the day. And you can see Bridget inside. She is sitting on the edge of the bed, running her hands along the sheets and blankets, almost like she missed them, or if not missed them, is just grateful for something that feels so incredibly mundane and normal, despite how terrible it is in Hemlock. And as soon as she hears your footsteps approaching, she looks up, and there's her typical guarded look until she registers that it's you. And that guard drops just the slightest bit. And she just says, "Hey, Mara."
Yo.
What's up?
How much just back here?
Yep.
Just wanted to let you know that Connor wants everyone to meet up in the group room.
You can, yeah, let him know that I'll be there.
Cool. Hey, just letting you know, I know we were like roommates and like friends in there. That's not gonna, happen over here. Sorry.
Mara, are you looking at Bridget when you say this?
No shot. No shot she's making eye contact while saying this.
And so the camera sees, but Mara doesn't see, that when she spoke, there was a moment where, as you tried to get Bridget's attention, she was about to get your attention. And when you mentioned being roommates and friends, her face lit up just a bit. And she was on the verge of saying something right when you said, "That's not going to happen here." And that expression disappeared immediately. The guardedness came right back. That's fine, Mara.
Probably why we were friends in there.
Why?
We both get it.
Yeah. Sure. We both get it.
Mara
Anything
walks
else
out.
that you need? And yeah, I imagine that Bridget is asking that as Mara's already turned to go.
Sorry, what? Looks back at.
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. Yep. Meet in the group room.
See you there. And as Mara walks out of Bridget's room, we have Valen and Ellie walking down the other side of the hallway. I just need to know, are the two of you talking as you are walking or just walking in awkward silence together?
It's only barely better than when Caleb shoved Casey down the stairs. Or when
What the-
Balin, I'm sorry, when Balin
What
shoved
did I
Casey
do
down
to
the
you?
stairs. Balin is just ready to fight. Balin woke up in that vein of just like, I gotta swing on something because I don't know what's going on.
That's fair.
It's not about Ellie, I promise. It's not personal.
I don't trust you with that one. It is a little personal. Yeah, I would say awkward silence then. A lot of mental gymnastics and processing going on with Ellie, I think. I think there's like the awkward and then realizes who she's walking next to, and it's Valen, and then she's like, never mind.
I think
Knows better than to start talking.
at one point, Valen would say just very quietly, you weren't gonna die in there. No one was gonna let that happen.
Thanks. Means a lot. I appreciate the group effort. I'm glad I'm not dead. Still processing that I might have been dying. It's kind of a weird concept.
Yeah, sounds pretty fucking strange.
Yeah. Do you think it was fake? Like, you don't think I'm actually dying, right? Cool. Good talk. Silence is deafening. Very reassuring. Steven?
Valen is, yeah, very quiet for a second and then just says, I mean, when I was a doctor, you definitely were dying, so
You weren't ever a doctor.
I was there. They put your life in my hands. Can you imagine that?
Honestly, no. And I think
Pretty,
me in that timeline also knew that was a wild thing to think.
pretty terrible decision. I gave you a bone saw.
Yeah, but the intention was good. What is it they say? Fake it till you make it.
Something like that.
I guess we made it. In some way, we're back here, so like define making it, but we made it out of there. So
We did. Most of us, at least.
I mean, maybe all of us. We haven't looked too hard yet. So, did you ever find out if Caleb made that place?
Unclear.
It
I
felt like
guess
a
it's possible. I mean, he can bend reality, so
yeah. So maybe if he did make that place, he might still be there, and then he can maybe get out of it. I don't know how his powers work. Um, but maybe if it's like his, I don't know, place to escape to, so
I
he can
think
get
when
out on his own.
when Ellie says that, Valen like opens his mouth and then thinks better of talking about the sanctuary. But absolutely for a moment was going to say something about it.
And I think that's the moment that you reach Caleb's door, and I imagine that Valen realizes this is Caleb's door before even looking at it, because it doesn't look like any of the others. Every other door is cracked open just a bit. And this door is not only shut, but appears to have multiple layers of additional metal reinforcing it, as well as fucking chains keeping it locked. It looks complicated, it looks multi-layered, and there is a green light above it, indicating that the room is in use. This is not what Caleb's room looked like when it first appeared on the hall.
Well, this isn't good.
That's definitely not how we left it. What happens if we touch the door? Is there like a keypad that's now been added, or any like actual physical locks or anything like that, like padlocks?
There are padlocks on it. There is no key code that you can see, but there is something that looks like it would be a fingerprint scanner. Nothing happens when you touch it. It does not react. An alarm does not sound.
Do you think that means he's in there?
That would be my best guess, and they don't want him to get out.
This feels like it's, I mean, I don't have a better explanation for this. I really don't. But like this is so extravagant, I think the word I'm looking for. It's out of proportion. It feels staged. Like, why would you have locks on locks on locks on a door that's was just like all the rest of ours? Like, how long would that take to install? There's no way that they did this while we were all in our own heads, right? Like,
How long? What was the time difference for how long we were gone in
do we
TV
even know
land?
that?
Valen does, because I asked Caleb about it.
Okay.
And as I recall, though, if you remember differently, let me know, because I may be misremembering. I believe Caleb told you just that time passed differently. And you would have noticed, I think, with your 11 on Assess the Situation, that from what you could recall, it had maybe been an hour, 2 hours since you last remember looking at the clock, assuming that it is the same day. But if that is the case, it would be just a matter of hours.
Okay. I mean, you're right, they wouldn't have had time to do all of this.
And why would they do it on just a regular, like dorm door? Like, all of our doors are the same. There's nothing in there except his room. Why not? I don't know. There's got to be like isolation, right? Why not put him there?
I don't know, they definitely had better ways to hold him there.
We know he made this room for himself, right?
The building just kind of showed up with it one day,
Okay.
right?
Mhm. I think that's been a question, so you can
Okay.
go with whichever theory you are subscribed to.
I think Ellie is gonna go with the theory at the moment, at least with the knowledge that she has of like where they just came from, and the assumption that they were put there by Caleb is that Caleb made this room and now Caleb locked themselves in there. So I think that's something she would vocalize. Like maybe it's not the staff. Maybe they did this for their own good. Did he seem like the last time you talked to him, did he seem upset?
I mean, there was something going on that made him stressed for time.
So maybe this is for us.
I'm gonna knock on the door very loudly.
fair.
Do you just knock or do you say anything, Valen?
I think Valen will just call Caleb's name.
Ask him to open the door, please.
Silence.
Thanks, JD.
Valen, you hear nothing but silence for a few moments. And then you hear knocking in response. It follows a pattern. Short and long. Does Valen know Morse code?
Oh, fuck. Buddy Boy spent a lot of time at the library. And Buddy Boy has ADD, so if he knows it well because of hyperfixation. I'm just gonna roll the dice and see.
I was going to say,
Yeah, because
let the
I'm
dice
honestly not
decide.
sure. Evens, he knows it. That's a 2. He knows it.
Phelan, it takes you a moment because you catch the pattern kind of in the midst of it, because it took you a few moments thinking first it was just knocking to realize what it was, but it is repeating, so it does circle back. And you realize that what presumably Caleb is sending to you as a message is simply your name.
Oh, shit. It's just, it would turn to Ellie. It's just my name.
Can you answer back?
I'll tap out Caleb.
And just as Caleb is potentially starting to respond, you hear Casey say, "What the fuck is with all of this knocking?"
Oh my god. That's Valen. That's in character.
The
Valen turns
door.
around. Shut the fuck up. What is wrong with
Can
you?
Can we not start this right now? Everyone's like super high energy, and we've all been through a lot. The door is different. Someone's in the door, knocking back. That's all. Trying to figure it out.
Someone's in the door?
On the other side of the door.
Listen, weird shit's been happening. You think it isn't possible that someone's trapped inside a door? I think that's a reasonable thing to wonder about.
I mean, it is a reasonable thing to wonder about, but that's not what I meant. I mean, there's someone on the other side of the door, and this door was not here before.
It's a door.
But someone's knocking in Morse code.
What kind of a nerd knows Morse code?
Oh my
Hi,
god.
hey JD.
Yes.
So I was in the group room to sort of center myself. but with the superhuman senses. Could I hear this?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool
You
beans.
hear a conflict brewing down the hall.
Cool beans. So what I would like to do is just sort of be there behind Casey. What are you doing?
Casey, to his credit, only jumps the slightest bit. And he doesn't even have time to respond because before he can, Gray just slides in between the two of you.
They're doing something. If the knocking is bothering you, go somewhere else.
Gray looks over their shoulder at Casey for guidance on this. And Casey just nods to him. He moves out of the way. But Casey squares up to you, Connor. And it is, Connor would obviously know, clearly just posturing because, well, he doesn't back down. Well, he gets almost, I can't say face to face because Connor is so much taller than him. He doesn't make any attempt to be aggressive and just says, yeah, maybe I will take a walk. And then moves right past you and heads down the hall.
Casey,
What?
we are trying to get out. We are looking for a way to help each other. So either you're with us or you're not. I hope that you're with us.
You know, I'll take that under advisement, team captain. And Connor, you definitely hear Gray say to Casey, I mean, he is the team captain. Like, that's a lot nicer to say to him than Frankenstein. And Casey just goes, shut the fuck up. And they keep walking.
Okay. So, hey, I'm going to be here for this, but I am going to be trying to keep an ear out if I hear Lucian make even a peep out of his normal range. Just so that we're clear. Just so that we're clear.
And actually, I will say, Connor, Lucian is nearby.
Okay,
they
that's
had been standing close to the group room, wanting to give you space, but when you walked out, he followed. So he's trying to not get involved in the midst of this, but he is accounted for.
Great. Great. Okay. So, Valen, is it Caleb on the other side?
I don't know. Casey interrupted, as he always fucking does.
Okay. Well, he shouldn't do that now, so let's try again.
I'm gonna tap on the door. Open the door, please.
You get back pretty quickly. I can't.
I'm gonna tap back. Won't.
You get back. Can't.
He's stuck in there. I don't think he can open it from his side.
Okay.
Ask him where he is.
I will do so.
And Valen, this would not make sense to anyone else, but Caleb sends back to you my room.
He's, in theory, somewhere safe. Connor, do you think you could break these locks?
I can try.
So Connor, as
With,
you move into position to do that, I do need to know, where is Scylla?
Well, Scylla went to the cafeteria to check if anyone ended up there. And if no one was there, she was going to get ice chips. And if someone was there but they didn't need help, she was still going to get ice chips. So I guess you can tell me if anyone was in the cafeteria when Scylla got there.
No one except for staff, which makes sense because almost everyone else is accounted for.
Gotcha. And I assume there's just like paper cups. There's no big like plastic jug to fill up.
I do really want to give Scylla a plastic jug. I feel like you shouldn't have it. Someone clearly left it out, and then Scylla's
Yes,
just
for
like,
me.
this is mine.
Yes, it's mine now. Thank you. And she's gonna fill up the jug full of ice chips for everyone. And then since they're back and she still believes in trying to make friends with the building that she believes is sentient, she's just kind of like pat her hand on the wall and it's just like, hello, I hope we weren't gone long. How are you feeling? Just kind of leaves her hand there for a moment. I got my moths back.
One of the moths flies out and just sits on the wall for a moment, and you don't get a response from the building, Scylla, but your moth almost looks relieved to be back. It's strange to get that feeling from a creature whose face and expression you can't even discern, but there is something in the way the wings move that indicates a comfort that you realize you didn't see in the TV.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun once we realized it. Well, once a lot of things started happening, and I thought the Christmas town would be a lot nicer than it was. Sure, it's not the town's fault. And that antler man was really creepy, and so was that giant eye in the sky. I don't like the eye in the sky. But I mean, I'm glad you came back to me. I thought you were gone forever when you turned into the crystals. Hmm. Do you know who? Oh, do you know who was looking at me in the sky? You can flap once for yes and twice for no.
The moth's wings flap once.
Oh. Hmm. Is it someone I should be concerned about?
Another flap.
Okay, I guess my instincts were right. Um. Hmm. So I should head back to the others. Sometimes when we're alone, things pop out at us. We shouldn't let that happen. Though that's only been in bathrooms. I'm not in a bathroom, so it should be fine. Yes. Well, I guess we should check to see if the others found anything. Do you know if the Antler Man came back with us?
The moth flaps its wing once,
Oh.
and then again,
Oh, okay.
and then again,
Uh-oh. Is that a
and then
maybe?
again.
That's not, that's, it's okay. You can just come back in my hair. It's fine. We can go now. What is form? It just keeps flapping. Okay. I think it's upset. We can go back to the others. I'm sorry I upset you, but I'm really glad you're back.
The moth seems to settle a bit as you do not press the question, but as it is moving back to your hair, all of the moths become restless at the same time.
What's the matter?
And you feel your entire stomach sink as a feeling of dread washes over you.
No. I'm looking around. Just definitely clutching the ice. Just looking around.
You look around, everything looks like it did moments before. The only change, and I'll leave it up to Scylla how she interprets this, is that Onyx is in there. They're sitting in a chair in the back. They are not watching you. They are not staring at you or anything else. But that is the only thing that has changed. I think Scylla would be able to gauge, though, that's not what has upset the moths, because they don't react when you look at them. The moths just continue to move in this agitated, panicked way. And Scylla, you know that something catastrophic is about to happen.
Whoa, do I get a sense of what direction it's about to happen
I'm going to give you a choice.
in? Great.
Would you like to use Dark Visions? Or would you like to roll to unleash your power?
Fuck my life. Wow, so many choices. It's been a while since I used Dark Vision. Let's use a Dark Vision. It's a 3 on my Doom track.
Honestly, you're doing so good with that. As someone who is speed running the Doomed playbook, you are doing an incredible job with restraint. All right, Scylla. So you feel this dread and terror wash over you, and there is a moment where you recognize this is a choice that you are making, that you could roll the dice and see if you're able to figure out what's happening. And in a place like Hemlock, that could be incredibly difficult, but you know that something or someone has the answer. And as you stand there in the dining hall, there's a moment where you think the lights have gone out because suddenly the walls are black. But as you look around, everything else is the same. Everything else is normal. You can see the tables stretched out. You can see the counter where the oatmeal goes. You can see all of that. But the colors of everything are off, almost reversed. Everything that was lighter is darker. Everything that was darker is lighter. And you see a figure sitting where you just saw Onyx. But you know immediately it's not them. And it's Scylla, so I imagine that there is a moment where she thinks, well, Onyx has red hair, so the color could go either way. It could either be getting really dark or really light. You know, that is a reasonable thing. But this figure's hair is a sandy blonde. It falls to their shoulders. And even in the darkness of the room, you see those golden eyes peering back at you. And as you make eye contact, the room starts to disintegrate. The tiles on the floor start to degrade. The walls start to peel back layers upon layers of paint. And then it is you and this figure standing in what looks like a void.
No,
What do you do?
no. Put it back.
He laughs. Put it back yourself.
I don't know how to do that. Being weird.
He looks around, then back at you. This is not my handiwork.
Well, what is your handiwork, looking out of clouds?
That is a strange thing to say, and Scylla, I don't believe we have time for this.
Time for what?
Time for this witty repartee.
No, the ice is gonna melt and I need to bring my friends their ice chips.
I would imagine that is the least of your concerns.
What are my concerns supposed to be? I don't know why you're here. I don't know what you want. I don't like this.
You were the one who put yourself in this situation. And I would imagine you do not want to lose what freedom you've gained when reality fractures apart.
Well, I mean, reality can't. We. Hmm. Are you trying to help me? Or are you just trying to help whatever you think wants to find me?
Both can be true.
That doesn't make sense.
It does, Silatarn. I would advise you to stop your friend.
Which friends? I have several friends, but I have more friends than you.
I have all of the friends that I need. You are wasting time.
Scylla is just getting progressively more stressed and freaked out as this is going on, and I think just hearing that, she just kind of books it. She just kind of picks a direction that she thinks the door to the room had been in and just runs. She doesn't know what to do and she's scared and she needs her friends because she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So she's just kind of panicking at this moment.
And Scylla, as you run towards where you at least thought the door was, you see everything play out. You see yourself rounding the corner, Hemlock returning to the Hemlock you know, not this featureless void, not the mirror image or whatever that change was. You round the corner and it's like you are moving through quicksand. You are trying to force your body to go faster, but you can't. And you see Connor draw back that fist with obsidian on the knuckles. And you see that hand move forward, striking dead center of the locked door. And you see a crack form. And for a moment, it just looks like light. Light spilling out from every direction. Because that crack is growing. It is moving through the door, through the halls. And you hear the screams beginning as you see your team begin to, the only word that comes to your mind is unravel. Like they were stitched together and those stitches are coming loose, and everything that has made them what they are is coming unconnected and falling. And you see colors radiating out of each of them. You don't have time to catalog, but you see blue and purple and gold. You see red and green. You see all of these mixing together. And the worst part is you see when these pieces that were once your friends start coming back together. You see that they are coming back wrong. But you don't get to see how. Not yet. And in your head, Scylla, you just hear a voice say, and that is why they will call you villains. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Why are you like this?
I
did
have
we ever
done nothing
do to
wrong
you?
ever in my life.
Her.
What did we ever
Hey.
do to you,
Hey JD. Hey JD. What the fuck?
bitch?
It's been a minute since I've said that.
It just got
It's been
bad.
a minute since I said that. Actually, hold on. I have a thing for this.
Get it.
Got it. Got the chopstick of doom.
Sure do.
All right, we will be back in 10 minutes.
Yay! The
All right, I have to
fuck?
do that.
Fuck.
Bye, everybody. My bad. I was sitting here like, yeah, let's see you guys. All right, yeah, well, bye. for my mom in high school, and when I got out of high school, she was like, "We need to sell the car. We need to sell this car again, right?" And she was trying to find like people to buy the car. I get a call one day, and she calls me. She's just like, "Hey, bud, why does the top of the steering wheel have a bunch of really big bite marks on it?" And I said I don't know. I told her I didn't know. I panicked.
Someone
I
broke
told her
into
I
the
didn't
car
know.
and chewed on the
What am-
steering wheel.
Like, what am I supposed to say there? Like,
I
Good
was
job.
curious.
Panic and say a squirrel must have done it.
it was human teeth.
You
If
just
not
say
donut, why donut shaped? I don't know what to tell you.
it's good stem.
Exactly.
I understand.
Squirrel found dentures. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they were experimenting. I don't have an answer to that. It
The
just
thing is,
appeared.
She never brought it up again. like
Because she
neither
probably
of us-
knew.
like
Just
like
like,
when
hey,
she
bud,
yeah.
why is this
Yeah.
bit?
yeah, why is this here? I'm just like, I don't know, I gotta go. And we never talked about it again.
I don't think she had any further questions. I think
Yeah.
all the answers were there.
This is brought to you by Conversations about cosplaying Scylla.
Gotta have a biting stem.
And shifting gears, although I don't even know how to begin to do that. Speaking of Scylla,
Mhm.
Scylla, you come back to yourself running as you did just moments before down the hall. And you don't remember getting from point A in the dining hall to point B, which is seeing the others standing in a group at the other opposite end of the hall. But you're there now. You are moving. You are moving at a faster pace than you might expect. It is a far cry from that feeling of being trapped in quicksand that you felt just moments ago. Ice chips are flying everywhere, unfortunately. What do you do as Connor comes into sight and you see him drawing his fist back?
Scylla immediately just kind of screeches, "Bad door, don't punch it, don't punch it, don't punch it," and just kind of like tries to launch herself to like, there's no way she can tackle Connor. She's too small and too shrimpy. So I imagine it's kind of like watching like a flying squirrel try to aim for a tree and you're not sure if it's going to make it or not. That is Scylla just kind of like dropping the ice bucket and just kind of launching to grab onto Connor's raised fist before he can make contact with the door. And I will happily roll for that so we can see how the fuck that looks. If you want. I don't know what I'm rolling for that.
You know, I like to roll dice and have a fun time on what that might look like. I think roll plus savior.
Okay. That's not
This
my
is going to
worst
be
one.
defend.
Defend? I don't have a minus to that. I don't. Oh god. 10.
Hell yeah.
Whew.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. All right. So on a hit, you keep everyone safe and you choose one. You can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, clear a condition.
So I have another question. When Scylla ran away because she got freaked out in the void, does that count as running away for my afraid condition or no?
It does not.
Okay. think I will use it to clear guilty. Because Scylla is not too late to stop it. And she is aiming to stop it from happening without hurting anyone. So I think with a 10, she's not hurting anyone.
I think that is very fair. And what I'm even going to say, Scylla, though you might not have realized this, the ice bucket is safe because as you dropped it, Onyx caught it.
Yeah, the chips!
So important.
So important. We need the crunch.
Scylla, what's wrong?
I saw you punch the door and it broke everything and it was very bright and there was screaming and you all
Okay.
unspooled. Like when you pull the thread off the thing that holds the thread, I forget what it's called, but when you pull it off really fast,
But yeah, hug. Okay.
she just kind of wraps her arms and legs around his torso and is just like hugs tightly. And it's just like, and I saw you all unraveling, and I didn't want you to unravel because then you would re-ravel into something different, and then they'd say we were bad people, and we're not. I don't want you to be bad people.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not saying we can't help Caleb, we just can't break the door.
Okay. We won't break the door. We'll have to figure out another way. Okay. Breathe for me. Slowly. Thank you. Okay. Valen, can you tell him to wait for us?
Valen is quick to turn around and starts to shout at Scylla. And I think it starts very loud of what the fuck, and by the time they get to the last word, it's just kind of trailed off. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell him. And I think Valen taps out, wait for me.
We're going to figure this out. But clearly something is going on. So we need to figure out what that is. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe it's because of his powers, and it's like you need to be delicate working around them because it's like I don't know, like if you break the glass in an aquarium, all the water's gonna come out all at once, and you can't control it, and it's probably gonna hurt him too. And I'm not saying we don't help him. It's just we have to be careful how to help him so we don't hurt ourselves or him or anyone else in the process. Because there was a lot of screaming.
Okay. Okay. Have we seen everyone?
I didn't find anyone in the cafeteria, just Onyx.
And
I think
Onyx
this is-
is
Well-
behind you.
I mean, this is when Mara comes back, and Mara just doesn't look at anybody. Says, "Bridget's on her way."
Okay.
You saw Casey and Gray here, so they're here.
Okay. So
Okay.
everyone's accounted for. Yay. Oh, I got
Yeah.
ice chips.
Thank
Onyx
you,
holds
Onyx.
up.
Oh,
The
you caught them,
container.
thank you. And then she remembers and she starts trying to sign her. She's not the best signer, but she gets the message across.
And Valen, it is a delayed response, but you do get an answer to wait for me. You just get back I will.
Okay. Everybody, group room.
Are you all making your way towards the group room?
The
So you see Bridget making their way down the hall. Casey and Gray do not seem to be joining for this meeting. They are nowhere in sight. In fact, you're kind of like, where did they go? Because they were not in the dining hall. They are not in the hallway here. They are not in the group room, but they may have returned to the rec room. There are other places they could go. Lucian and Onyx are with you. And as the group of you approaches the therapy room, one of the nurses, you're not sure what their name is because it seems like they're always rotating in and out, and you don't often see the same person more than twice, at least for those of you who have been here for a while. But they approach, and it's not strange. A lot of times, because there's so much turnover, the staff, at least that staff, do not seem to recognize you. And so you just see this person kind of peering over each of your faces and then slowly say, hi, one of you has a visitor. Which one of you is Ellie Ellison?
That's me.
Oh, well, like I said, you have a visitor.
Are you gonna tell me who?
I was gonna take you to see them. Or should I tell them to go?
Can you give me like 2 seconds?
Of course.
Okay, but don't like go over there.
And they like look over their shoulder and
We were in the
and just
middle of
kind of
something.
Yeah.
okay, over there.
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, a little further.
They look like really confused, but they follow what you've said, which does seem a little strange.
A little bit.
Just a touch, yo.
Okay. Okay, so I have a visitor,
Mm-hmm.
and it might be Zane. How much? We haven't really discussed JD. How are our memories mixed?
Oh, you remember every single second of being in TV land. Nothing is missing.
Okay.
So, you think it's Zane?
Maybe. I also got a letter from my my other friend recently and my parents, so it could be them, but I don't. Given the circumstances, probably not.
He was in there
So
with us.
he was, and I guess in the so all of that stuff about us dating was true.
Is that bad?
Yes.
You can date who. Oh, okay. How is it bad?
Well, isn't he your mentor?
And also, he's weird and evil.
Okay, well, we don't know that yet, but maybe.
Signs point to yes,
It's been
He
really shady
vanished.
since the last phone call I had with him, where
which
he
is
kind of brushed off that he was ever here. You remember when we all forgot
right.
all of that time?
Yeah, I was gonna say the sets lied to us.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted all of that on the table, before I go talk to him. I don't know who you're going to tell, but please don't tell anyone else. We've been trying to keep it really on the down low for, circumstances like this.
Because if anyone found out, he'd be fired.
No, I don't think that's the case.
It wouldn't look good.
It wouldn't look good.
Okay.
Yeah. So
For what it's worth, I think you should break up with him.
thank you, Connor. I will take that into consideration.
I think you should be smart with it.
I think you should fight him.
Mara, also consideration.
I'm just
Valen.
saying, if he's your ticket out, take it.
Yeah. He was also kind of my ticket in.
What?
He was pretty supportive of this. So we'll see. I mean, you all know the story. So like I couldn't really argue with the fact that I kind of, potentially destroyed 2 city blocks worth of people, and it's better than jail, I think. Actually, I don't know that anymore. Well, I'll let you guys know how it goes. I just wanted everything kind of on the table
Okay.
Yeah.
Just remember,
before I went.
they've lied to us already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I guess wish me luck. I think this is something that you
Good
asked for
luck.
on.
You can
Thank
lie to
you.
him back.
I sure can.
Equality
Tell them.
or something.
Ask. Never mind.
No. I if you have questions for me to try and ask, I totally will.
I gave them something when they came to visit.
Brooke?
One of the set.
Okay.
It was a piece of the thing we fought.
Okay.
Oh.
They said they were going to look into it.
Okay. I'll see if they have any answers. If it's him. Any other questions? No. Okay. Cool. All right. And then she will shuffle back over to the nurse who listened to me. Now, new favorite nurse.
And you see, a name tag, and the nurses do usually wear name tags because there is so much turnover. Although this one just says Smith.
Okay. Cool. How many of them say Smith?
How
But-
many have you looked at?
It's like Smith with different spellings. One is with like a
true.
Y. One is with a Y and an E
I
on
don't
the
know.
end.
That was just kind of like a facetious comment, but I suspect that she looks at a bunch of name tags. She seems like the kind of person to be like cataloging people.
Mm-hmm. Getting the names of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Hit list.
There do seem to be a lot of Smiths and Browns.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll remember that. No, I won't. The VOD will remember that. Okay.
All right, so Ellie, you are. This is going to be a really fun test for both of us to remember if we either of us remember, but You haven't received a visitor since you've been in here. You had the interrogation with Rook, but I don't believe anyone has come to see you, Rook included.
Well, he
except
was
for that one time.
supposed to.
That was the
He was.
He was
interrogation,
gonna bring a breakfast
definitely.
burrito and Oreos at some
Yeah,
point.
where's my fucking breakfast burrito? Damn,
Better
thank
have
you,
it
Steph.
now.
I forgot.
You're welcome.
We had that phone call.
Oh, I didn't forget that. I remembered that all along.
That I did not.
And so I think it maybe feels a little bit jarring, Ellie, as you're walking and you realize that you are brought in through a door right near the garden, which you feel like you've never noticed before. It is a card swipe. So not the heaviest security that they could have, especially since a nurse's badge can get you through real easy. It's not locked up like some of the doctor's offices are. It's not locked up like other parts of the facility are. But it is locked up, and you see a row of rooms, and I would imagine there's a moment where you're thinking, this is going to be right where we were interrogated that night, because we were brought to a line of rooms. You know, we each had our own meeting in there. But these rooms look different. Those rooms looked like interrogation rooms. These are comfortable. There are couches, there are chairs, and you see that a door at the end of the hall is cracked open. The light above it is green. What is Ellie thinking as she walks towards it?
I'm gonna puke. I think this is probably the most nervous she has been since right after the incident. There's been a lot of traumatizing stuff in the last few days alone, not even counting the TV, and then the TV, which was a streamline of traumatizing things, including finding out, like, in a like open the floodgates kind of way, that Rook / Zane is not who like they might not be who they are telling her that they have been this entire time. And I think they were going on 3 years of dating. A lot of suspicious thoughts, and she's gonna have to confront them about it / play coy. And not to mention how hurt and sad she is that this is a situation she's in.
And what do we see as the audience as we watch Ellie walk into this room?
It is like a calm comes over her, like a well-practiced mask of everything is fine, which is she has been so good at perfecting. And this is just putting herself in the mindset of, this is just another TV interview. This is just Rook. This is just Zane. This is a normal conversation. But internally steeling herself into, you know what you have to do and what you have to ask. Because I think it's starting to really seed and root inside her that maybe what happened wasn't what actually happened. And there's a reason I don't remember all of it. And that's no way to enact justice, because innocent until proven guilty. And there was no really evidence that she knows of personally to prove her guilty. So a very like it would be to the audience just like this very nervous look, and then as she reaches for the door handle, just a kind of swivel of the camera from behind to forward, and it's just like that straight faced stare, and then a just here we go and showtime, and opens the door.
Ellie, you push the door open and step inside. And there's a moment where I would imagine, even with that controlled expression, even with composing yourself, you see someone standing there looking at what are probably years, if not decade old magazines on like a small coffee table. And you feel just the slightest bit of a crack that allows that dread and all of those emotions to just seep in for an instant, because you see this person and for an instant you're almost convinced it's Rook. But then you take in the messy, wavy brown hair, and he turns and you see the stubble on his face, the way too, you've called them, I'm sure, dorky glasses that he wears, where the frames are just a little bit too large for his face. And Milo looks at you and his expression lights up. He looks a little panicked just because he is seeing you in your jumpsuit for the first time. And that is a lot to take in. And you are his friend who has been gone, and he starts to run up towards you and then sees the nurse standing there and slows down. It's clear he's not afraid of you. He's more afraid he's about to break a social taboo and get himself kicked out of here. And is just like, "Oh my God, Ellie, am I allowed to hug you?"
Yes, you're allowed to hug me. And she's already there and just like arms wrapped around him super tight, like full on glowing, just like when you've seen your best friend that you haven't seen in like a year, and you're just like hugging them tight and like jumping. Everything that she has gone through in the last 3 months is out the door. She's just like so excited to see her best friend from childhood till now, and B, someone else that's not the people who are in here with her, not the nurses, not Rook, thank God, and someone who she's actually knows is excited to see her, and she is excited to see herself.
He hugs you back just as tightly and very much seems to not want to let go. And a little quietly, not like he's trying to hide it, but in the way you lower your voice when someone is listening and they're not meant to be a part of this conversation, is just like, "I've missed you so much. Oh my God, what is it? What has it been like in here?" Am I allowed to ask you what it's been like in here?
You
That seems
can-
like a bad question to ask. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be throwing all of this at you at the same time.
No, 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 no. You can ask whatever you want. Really, really, I'm just happy to see you. It's awful. It's terrible. The food sucks. I have to wear this, and she gestures to the jumpsuit. I, I, I don't know. I don't know what else to say except that it's absolutely awful. That I've made some friends. Like maybe 3/5 of them would say otherwise. But you know,
Wait, 3/5 of them would say otherwise?
I don't know. I can't do math. You know that, JD. Whatever. I was looking at my screen. There are 5 people. I'm including myself. um, two, 4, half. We establish this every episode. I cannot do math.
Yeah, you always
See,
you always volunteer yourself for it.
and I was thinking you were talking about everyone, Casey, Gray, Lucian, Bridget, Onyx, Theo, like
Theo's not even here. Emos is dead. One half of them probably would say otherwise.
I mean, those aren't terrible odds.
No, we're working on it. We're working on it.
I was gonna say they must be a tough crowd to not like you.
When you come to a place like this, someone like with a personality like mine is more abrasive than having a closed off one. So it can be pretty easy to not really want to hear optimism. It's fine.
Sorry, I had a question I had to ask very quickly. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And Milo takes that in, and more than what you've said, Ellie, he takes in. He cannot kind of fully break down that mask you are wearing, but he knows you well. And maybe it's that he's coming in here with the preconceived notion that this has been hard on you. The way he's looking at you is a look of concern. And I don't think he means to, and I think Ellie knows he doesn't mean to.
Yeah. I'm trying to work on saying I'm not fine when I am not fine, and I am not fine. But I am okay. I am still present and doing my best. But don't look at me like that. I see it.
Okay.
I see it.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm here and I'm here. There's a lot going on. But no, I don't have an actual but. There's a lot going on here. And I'm not okay, but I'm surviving. And we're all going to do our best to get better. Yeah. That's
Okay,
the thing.
that was a lot. That right
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. It sounds like therapy is working.
Yeah. She looks at the nurse like, how much of this is actually going to be repeated? But I don't think she cares right now. So she's just like, if we actually really got to talk to real therapists, I don't think anyone here is actually licensed in therapy, like beneficial therapy, maybe some other kind of doctoral degree. Some of them, one person was just here and she really, really drove home that she was a doctor. And I don't think she had any like degree from any credible university. I would think at max, maybe like the online, the 24-hour ordained minister license, but that's about the only certificate she probably had. Feels really good to say that. I can't really say that in front of some other people here because that was their mom. That is another story. I can't believe they let you in. I'm going off on a tangent because I'm just really excited to see someone who doesn't work or live here.
I don't even know where to start with any of this. Yeah, no, I thought, I was just impressed that you got to that point of acknowledging that you're not okay, because you've never been good at acknowledging that you're not okay, even when I can tell that you're not okay. And then I ask you and you tell me that you're fine, and I'm like, you don't look fine, and you're like, well, I am fine. So the fact that you actually said that to me is both exciting and terrifying. And so I just kind of figured it was probably because, therapy was working, but it sounds like
No, it's the opposite.
therapy is not working and you have somehow gotten to this point. I'm impressed. Good,
you.
good work.
Thank you. A lot of effort, But enough about me. I want to hear about everything else out there and you and how you got to get a visitor's pass. Like last time I checked, they weren't letting anyone except like the set in.
And Milo looks confused and studies you for a moment, almost like he thinks you're joking.
What?
Ellie, you sent me one. And we're going to pause right there on that scene, and we're going to go back to the others.
What?
And so, while Ellie is off talking with presumably Rook, but actually Milo, what are those of you who have gathered in the group room doing?
Is there a whiteboard? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think Connor is up at the whiteboard with the marker. And he's just gonna write all of the names down. The people that are here and Ellie. There is room to put Casey and Gray up there, but like that's only happening if they show up. So we need to figure out what it is we can do. What our power sets are, what the drawbacks are, what our strengths are, and how we can improve. All of these together will help us figure out how best to control our gifts. That way we can show improvement so that they'll let us out. We hope. We also, and there's just going to be another part of the whiteboard that is like room 13. We need to figure out what's happening with that. How to free Caleb without unraveling us.
Yeah, so now that you're a little bit more coherent,
Huh?
what did that mean? What does that mean?
Scylla
Unravel.
had been crunching on the last of the ice chips in her hand and was just kind of like, well, I got this weird, like, sinking feeling in my tummy when I was getting the ice chips, and the moths were panicking. So I did that thing I've done before where I kind of try to, like, see a vision of what might be going on. And, well, first that guy with the golden eyes showed up in a void, and that was not good, and it was quite scary. But then when I ran away, it was like I was like seeing myself but out of my body, and I was running back through the hallway and I could see you guys where I found you, and Connor was I saw him punch the door, and I guess it was reality breaking. That's what the guy said with golden eyes said it was, that I needed to stop. And when it broke, the crack on the door spread through like the walls and there was all the light spilling out. And as the light hit you guys, you all like unraveled. Like, I don't know how else to describe it because it was really upsetting, but then it was like you unraveled into colors and then you started reforming, but it wasn't right. Like, you guys were coming back wrong.
Okay. Well, glad that isn't happening.
Me too. It was really sad and scary.
Maybe we leave him in there for now.
I'm sorry, what?
Uh-oh.
But still had a vision of awful things happening if we tried to let him out.
So you think he should just stay trapped in there?
Not forever, clearly.
For now.
We just need to figure out a safe way. That's what we'll be doing in the meantime, right? Figuring
I'm
out how to
sure.
get him out without it breaking, right?
Yeah, I'm sure I can figure something out.
I could see if. I mean, the vents, theoretically, there should be vents that go into his room. If. Could try to find if that could be a safe way in, or at least to talk clearly.
The last time we interacted with his powers, we were transported to another realm of existence.
But he had the cuffs on. Didn't he? That shouldn't have happened. Am I remembering that right, JD? He had the power nullifying cuffs on, right? That was the first time we'd seen it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, Syl was not in the room when that went down. Okay.
No, we were. Yeah,
So-
no, they were away from us. They were getting ice
Yep.
chips.
Always ice chips.
It was like it's always ice chips. We're gonna realize that something's wrong with the ice chips. It's a trap. But right now, it's not. That's not it.
JD, don't take the ice chips from us like this.
don't
This is
don't
don't
figure
take
out my
the
plot.
ice chips from us like
hope we
this.
have.
Those
Or
are
one
ice
hope.
chips, you motherfucker.
We already have to suffer through an oatmeal counter, and now we don't even get ice chips. What the fuck?
What's the counter for? There's not even fruit. Okay, I'm gonna get sidetracked. That's so upsetting. But yeah, he shouldn't have.
Maybe they're off now.
But how could he get them off? The staff put them on.
Listen,
mean, he
I'm
wasn't-
not convinced that
Kian, you know where Connor's looking. You know where Connor's looking.
Listen, I'm not convinced that anything that they have here is like top notch. I've been asking about like a real researcher and this kind of thing because I assumed he would be here. But yeah, I guess I'm not saying we should totally trust the power cuffs either.
Malin,
I mean, if you pull on them hard enough, it's easy enough to take them off.
is that what happened?
It didn't seem right that he had them on.
Why not?
Because he didn't want them on, Mara.
Some choice.
So, perhaps we need to go with the understanding or the assumption that his powers aren't controlled.
Have we
And
not been
so
working under that assumption?
I'm stating it for the group, Mara.
Sorry.
We can't just make assumptions. We need to be clear. It needs to be out loud for everyone to hear it. This place is lying to us. We don't know what's real and what's not most days. So we lay it all out.
Connor, I do have to ask.
Yep.
Do you want to pierce the mask on Valen?
Kinda, yeah.
Do it.
Oh,
Let's go.
Now, luckily for you, given the way my thing is set up, I'm at a -3 to this. So that's one potential.
yay, potential.
7 minus 3 do be a 4.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
oh.
Kian, I'm curious your thoughts. What do you think it is about how Valen is responding to this that makes it impossible for Connor to get a read on them?
I think there's probably a couple of things. One of them is that Valen knows that Connor knows. And so Valen is resolutely shutting that down. Like, Valen knows that Connor is reading him for filth right now and is not going to engage in that in any way. And I think the other thing is that Valen is really distracted by what Mara is saying and is getting noticeably agitated. And so if Valen's not thinking about Caleb, it's hard to read anything that happened between them before TB land.
Okay. There's a moment, and I'm so sorry, where Connor is looking at you and you can see the disappointment set in. But then they turn. I said I'm sorry. I apologize beforehand. I'm sorry. But he's going to turn to the board. Going to write Caleb's name in there. Powers unleashed. It's ill omened. Unraveled. Put back together wrong. Safe way to open door? Question mark. Who made door? Question mark.
So if cracking the door let all of his powers out and affecting us, could we assume that he can still use his powers inside the door, inside the room?
His powers could be active.
Sure.
I don't know. We don't know if he's in control of them.
Right. I'm saying if somebody were to be able to get inside the room without opening the door.
And how exactly do you propose we do that?
I never said we. I'm saying that I could try if you give me a few days. I thought your big thing was that you wanted to get him out or whatever.
Not in a couple of days, Mara.
Well, I'm sorry I can't go faster than that, but do you have a better
figure
idea?
it out.
Figure it out.
You seemed so prideful. You always seem so fucking ready that you're gonna have an answer. Give us a fucking answer.
Okay, my answer is that I need a day or two to figure it out. I need to run the math. Is that
could
like such
try
a
to-
hard concept? Sorry, Scylla, what were you gonna say? Please.
Oh, I was gonna say I could try to crawl through the vent to see into the room to get a better sense of what we might be dealing with.
Sure, if you want. Yeah. That
'Cause
won't take a day.
the
Is that
vents, yeah, the
Yeah, is that
vents.
better for
Yeah,
you?
there have to be vents because of the airflow. Because they don't give us real windows, so they have to get us air with the vents. And I can fit. It's just a suggestion.
Is that more to your liking, Valen?
I mean, it's a little quicker, but still, it's not exactly the safest.
I mean, yeah, if I can't get close without it feeling like it'll break, I'd have to turn around, but then at least we'd know for sure.
Did it seem like he could hear beyond the knocking?
He never responded when I called his name. It was only to the knocking. He's got this place that he can go to stay safe.
Oh, please.
What do you mean?
Mind enlightening us?
It's this. It looks like his bedroom outside of here, and he can go there and stay safe and away from everything.
So,
Then why are we worrying about him?
so it's not even connected, But-
So,
but it
Bubble?
is.
I don't really understand everything behind it, but somehow I was able to go there with him.
I
A
mean,
voice speaks up from the door. You recognize it as Gray. What do you mean you were able to go there with him? It's not possible.
What would you know
No.
about it?
What would I know about that? What would I know about Caleb's sanctuary? We have one too.
What?
are you talking about the janitor's closet?
Gray on the board. Sanctuary.
And almost immediately following that being written on the board, you hear Casey before you see him appear in the doorway. He sounds furious, and when you see him, he looks furious. And he grabs Gray's arm, trying to pull him back, and says, "You know you're not supposed to fucking talk about that, Gray."
Casey. Asshole.
Fuck you, Connor.
You'd have to ask your boyfriend.
Casey,
Okay,
you want to
wait a
sit down and be useful, bud?
Of course he doesn't.
No.
Okay, then you can leave.
Crosses his arms over his chest, leans in the doorway. Not going anywhere.
Okay, so you just
Okay.
Casey.
When someone is throwing a temper tantrum, you ignore them.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was gonna say, I think to Gray, I mean, I think your guys' janitor's closet is a bit different from Caleb's reality bubble. Unless you're saying you have a bubble too. That's not a closet.
Pretty sure that is what they were saying.
Oh wow.
And Grace starts nodding, and Casey says, I'm saying that we're not talking about this.
Okay, then you can leave. I don't know what you want from us.
It's a free country. I'm standing in the doorway. That's all I'm doing.
No, you're interrupting what we're trying to do.
Please, work. As long as you're not talking about me, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Great.
How the fuck do you guys have a sanctuary?
That seems like talking to me, Valen.
All right.
So I don't know
great.
if I'm supposed
How
to
the
keep my
fuck
mouth
do you
shut
guys-
or talk.
God, Casey, how much do you like hearing the sound of your own voice?
A lot.
And Balin,
Casey, I'm sorry about your mom. Even though she wasn't a good person, I'm sure there were still parts of her you loved. And I'm not saying you have to talk about it because you're not going to. But I'm sorry. That is, yeah.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. This is fucking stupid. So I'm going. Do
It's
whatever
not stupid to be sad.
you're doing here. Scylla, fuck off. What would you know
Oh,
about any of that?
Balin gets in his face.
Where would I go? We're all stuck here, Casey.
Balin jumps in. Don't take that fucking tone with her. She didn't do anything wrong.
She shouldn't be talking to me like that.
She can talk to you however she wants. You don't have to be an asshole to her.
Talk to her. Talk to you with empathy and care.
That was really hard for me to do, so I just was trying to make an effort.
Well,
But it's okay. I won't say anything more on the topic. I just wanted to say that, but I
Not-
won't bring it
I'm-
up again.
I'm not ready to talk about any of that, and especially not with
I know.
any of you.
You don't
And-
have to. That's what I was saying. I was trying to be nice to you while saying you don't have to talk about it because you're obviously not ready to. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, fuck. Fucking damn it. Okay. Hold on.
What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do, Q?
I think Connor sees what is happening. He's going to walk up to Casey. You're gonna hug Casey. And I do want to lock arms so that he can't get away because he needs this.
Connor, you wrap your arms around Casey. You lock those arms in place. And even though Casey has the power of super strength, even though Gray could probably grab him and yank him out of there if they chose to, Gray doesn't intervene. And aside from initially struggling a bit in response, kind of the almost half-hearted, get off of me, leave me alone, don't fucking touch me, you feel the moment that Casey breaks and starts sobbing on you, Connor Creed.
Yeah. we're just gonna let that happen for a little while.
Yep, that was the goal. It's what Sloane does. She says something that you don't want to hear, but you actually did need to hear it, and then all the emotions come out.
Mara looks really uncomfortable.
That's valid.
You could write some theories on the board if you want to ignore it a bit, Mara.
I'm good.
Okay, that was just a thought.
How is Valen reacting to this?
Valen looks absolutely furious. Valen, of all the people to deserve sitting in their feelings, Casey is not one of them in this room. And Valen is furious at this, but he is quick to ignore it and turn to gray. So, how do we get Caleb out of the sanctuary?
I mean, maybe I missed this part, but like, what is the reason you want to?
Thank you.
Oh my god, Mara, shut up. He can't open the door from his side. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, no shit, something's wrong. Like, that makes did he never talk to you about his sanctuary?
We didn't exactly have a lot of time. Well, that's not true. We had time at first, and then I had to get everybody out of a TV.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I do remember that piece of being in the TV.
Just, I hate saying this. Talk to me like I'm stupid.
Okay. All right. So a sanctuary is a place. Is that what you're looking
Oh
for?
my god. Will you just
Okay.
explain yourself, Gray?
Listen, I'm just trying to figure out what you know and what you don't know, and I'm like, it doesn't seem like it, but I'm trying not to waste your time. Okay. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what his sanctuary is like. I only know what mine and Casey's is like, but it's a place you can go that's safe and protected. And I don't know if like you're really tired or you've used your powers a lot or like shit is bad. It's a safe place to be. It's a safe place for you, and it's a safe place from you. Is that what you were looking for? I'm not supposed to be talking about any of that.
Is Casey still crying?
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to paint the scene. I just need to know what's going on in the background of all this. Okay, so why would you get stuck in there?
I mean, you would get stuck in there if it's not safe for you to be somewhere else. I don't think he's trapped, Valen. I think he's there because he needs to be safe, or he needs to keep all of us safe.
So, like, he needs to rest? Is it
Yeah, I
like
mean-
he's too tired?
I mean, he's probably tired if he got us out of a TV. That seems like a lot of work.
Uh huh.
but I don't think you guys need to be panicking right now. I think he's a lot safer in there than he or us would be out here. And that is
Yes.
the moment that the lights go out.
No, stop it!
Oh.
And we're going to pop back over to Ellie and Milo, where Milo had, this is, we're going to say 30 seconds before lights out. Milo had just dropped the bombshell on you that he believes you invited him here, Ellie.
Is he saying that I sent him the physical pass?
He hasn't clarified, but when you asked about the pass, he indicated that you were the reason he was able to come here.
No, that's that. What makes? Why do you think that, Milo? Why do you think I said you should come up to visit?
Because you asked me to?
Like in a letter?
No. No, you called me.
No, I haven't spoken to you since I came here over the phone. We just have been exchanging letters. I never called you, and I don't have any say of who can come and who can visit me. I just ask and give them a paper with names on it, and they decide who can and can't. I didn't allow you to come visit me.
No, you you totally did, Ellie. Like you told me that you were doing really well, that they like bumped you up to the next level or something like that, and that meant I could finally come visit.
That's actually really funny. Because the last time I was told how I was doing, they told me that I needed to be more accountable. So I don't think that I've been bumped up to any level. Actually, this is terrifying news. That whoever called you wasn't me, Milo. It wasn't me.
And you can see, and it's more of a hope that you're fucking with him, but it's very clear that is quickly falling apart, and he is starting to look terrified, and he has just enough time to ask, why would someone do that, before the lights go out there too.
I think she would absolutely instinctually like put herself between him and the door. And like take one of his hands in hers because she knows that's a safe bet. And just like high alert because this has happened like I think at least 4 times before now. And anytime it happens is bad news bears.
And it's strange because you reference those previous times. Ellie, you and Milo are in another part of the hospital, another, it almost seems like, wing of the hospital. The others are on the patient floor, but they're separated by doors. And that is why it is disconcerting that from right down the hall, just a little bit beyond that first room that Ellie and Milo are in, a spot that is as far away from the rest of you as is possible, there is the sound of hoofbeats on the floor.
Wait, he would just leave me alone.
and there is the sound of hoofbeats on the floor approaching the group room.
Oh, never mind. You're fine.
How many?
How many hoofs?
Because the wings flap 4 times. How many
Oh.
different sets of hoofbeats? JD.
We can hear the hoofs.
Yeah,
That is a really great question.
I figured. I thought so.
So far, the answer is 3. The sound of hoofbeats that are coming from either side of the hallway, moving towards the group room. And the one walking right towards the room that Milo and Ellie are in. And it is Ellie and Milo who are reached first. The first thing you hear is screaming, because the two of you hadn't been alone in this room. And you're not sure where that nurse went, but something has found it. There is the sound of crunching bone, tearing flesh. And then through the darkness, Ellie, you see 2 piercing red eyes. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. We're going to be moving into combat next session, which we have
Okay,
not
I
done in
have-
quite a long
okay,
time.
I have.
Your bestie. You gotta protect your bestie.
I can't.
Yep, Ellie has 4 conditions.
Oh! We got it. Oh, God. There's a herd of antlermen? Why is there a herd?
I was going to say, what constitutes a herd? Is it just more than one?
Bish?
More than
Okay,
2.
so Rook just controls a herd of antlerman, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
And so we're going to see, maybe Rook has visited. Maybe it is something else. Who knows? Find out next time as we continue what they call as villains. But with that, let's go around. Let my lovely cast tell you who they are, who they played, and the awesome things that they are doing. And we are going to be starting with Harp. I was going to wait on Harp because they are running tech, but we are going to start with Harp.
Hi, I'm Harper. Or Ellie, not that Ellie. I was Mara. Yeah. Oh wait, you can find me on Beacons, or you can find me on High Shelf Collective tomorrow night. I'm playing Beacons. And that's it. And that's it.
Incredible,
you
iconic.
for-
We love to see it.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, we're gonna let Kian go last since they will be doing channel outro stuff. So jumping over to Q.
Hi, I'm Q. I was playing Connor Creed this evening. When you don't see me here, you can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight, no more underscore INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, stable horse, ride a cowboy, and keep making cowboys. Speaking of which, you will see one of those cowboys on Friday over at Tales from the Table Studios, where we are doing a month of charities, month of Tales 2, for the California, the LA fires. And we're going to be playing a game that I have just encountered called Grimoire Punk. It seems like a lot of fucking fun. Opposite Tuesdays from this one, I'm over at Live from the Apocalypse. My God, on today, it's fine. For Nephilim Tenebris, where I'm playing another space cowboy. And then Thursdays, every other Thursday, back over at LFCA for Redacted. And then Saturday morning cartoons class reunion, which is a D&D isekai game where I'm playing one of the only non-isekai characters as far as PCs go. There's other stuff like Sunday. Sunday is a Celestial Railway job. Also on Tales from the Table. Hopefully, our tech gremlins will be kind to us because boy, howdy, have they been assholes. But yeah, so that's me. That's it. That's all. I got other stuff.
Awesome stuff, Q. All right, Steph, tossing it to you.
Oh boy. Hi, I'm Steph. I've been Scylla, going through the horrors yet again. You could find me when I'm not here over at Live from the Apocalypse every other Thursday in JD's psychological horror game Redacted. We have so many ghosts in our bodies on this little haunted ass island, and maybe we'll escape one day. And other than that, stay tuned for the return of our Regency Monster Hearts game in a few months, where yeah, things are happening, but there's always time for a ball. So yeah, don't worry about it.
We're going to have a normal one. It's going to be an 8-person table, having a lovely ball. Nothing will go wrong.
No
I
X's
don't
there
promise,
at all.
but it probably won't be my fault if things do go wrong. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of not my fault, Elsie, you are up next.
Harp just says something funny. Hi, I'm Elsie. I play Ellie. I'm optimistic on all social media. I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I am so fucked next session. I was like, yeah, best, but so excited. Why did you do this to me? You gave me my best friend in the whole world. And then said, hey, you have 4 conditions. You gotta protect him now. If you kill him, watch your back. I know where you live.
I'll keep that in mind.
I don't know where you live. I know the general vicinity. Anyways, I can besides here be found on this same week, Saturdays, at 1 p.m. over on Tales from the Table Studios in our Jedi game. I forgot what's going on, which is my forte in that game. But I had a heart-to-heart with another mentor because mine is dead that I know of. He's not. I'm in trouble. That's about it. That's all I got for you. That's all I'm doing right now.
Everything I hear about that game just tells me that you all are having a normal one.
Well, that's because Cass keeps doing fucking shit, which is what Cass does. Everybody here knows that.
Facts.
Also, happy birthday to 3 people at this table. But I won't say who, besides me. That's it.
Wait,
That's
no,
me.
I'm trying to figure that out. Oh God. Okay, now I'm gonna be fixating on everyone's birthdays.
It's me plus 2 people.
Yeah, I know one of them.
Okay.
So yes, I will put those pieces together. All right, I'm gonna do my outro so I can let Kian go so we can all get some sleep because this has been a session to have and things are a time right now. So hi, I am JD. I'm going to stick to this week and what is going on because I'm realizing I keep forgetting to plug certain things. If I try to just say it all and instead don't just leave some to be said at the next stream I do. So tomorrow, you can find me with Guild Superior, where I am playing House of Eidolons, which is a cyberpunk heist game. We are in the middle of a train job and it is going badly, and we're going to see how much worse it gets tomorrow. On Thursday, I will be running the aforementioned Redacted, where everyone is a haunted house or a haunted duplex full of ghosts. And we will see, speaking of casts pulling some shit, they did pull some shit during the last session. So we're going to see where that leaves our cast of characters on Thursday over with Live from the Apocalypse. On Friday, I will be with Q in that game on Tales from the Table Studios, Grimoire Punk. And I am so very excited. I've also heard I might get to play a little more of that in the coming months, but I can't say more quite yet. And then on Saturday, I will be there for class reunion. I'm pretty sure that's this Saturday. God knows what is even happening in my life these days to do class reunion because we have been on hiatus from that game for a while. And then I do way too many other things that I'm not going to plug. Find me on socials at JD, not Jason Dean. It will tell you where I am on any given night. And I'm going to toss it over to Kian to take us out.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight-chiffon over on Blue Sky. I'm just going to run through the entropy schedule because I'm involved in a couple of things there. Mondays, Follow the Ashen Throne, our political intrigue D&D 5e game, GM'd by Will. My poor little lad there is having a time. My poor little lad is having a really not great time. I killed somebody who I shouldn't have killed, and it's not looking good. Every other Tuesday, they call us villains, obviously here for our Horror Masks actual play, GM'd by JD. Every other Thursday, God Complex, a Girl by Moonlight actual play, also GM'd by Will. Every other Friday, Weird Wilds War, a 5e AP GM'd by JT. Every Saturday, starting March 1st, because we're going on hiatus for a couple of weeks, but starting again on March 1st, God Killer Desecration, GM'd by myself with JD at the table. And then keep an eye out on March 1st. We will be doing Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun actual play. That is when the finale will be. We are going to send a raid over to Tales from the Table Studios. They are doing some really important work right now for the fires going on in California. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take care of the planet. Community is what's going to get us through right now. So please, please, please be kind to yourselves and be kind to the people around you. And we are so glad that you chose to spend your evening with us, and we are always here to be a support. So I will toss it over to Harp to take us out, and I will set the raid up.
Okay. I hope everybody enjoyed watching this episode of the Cause Villains episode 16, The Return. Please join us in 2 weeks from now.
This is not what I meant, Harp.
The 8. Oh, my bad.
But it's iconic.